You've probably seen the headlines, but what you're about to hear will absolutely shock you. Prince Harry's mental health crisis has reached a devastating new level, and I'm about to reveal exclusive details that the mainstream media won't touch. But before we dive into this explosive story, if you're watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because you don't want to miss what's coming next on this channel. The truth about Prince Harry's current state is far more alarming than anyone realizes. According to insiders, Harry is getting frustrated with Meghan's approach to their children's privacy, with sources revealing he can't believe she posted their kids' faces online for the first time during one of the most violent weekends in recent US history. This frustration is just the tip of the iceberg of what's really happening behind closed doors in Montecito. Let me paint you the real picture of what's going on. Royal biographer Sally Bedell Smith reveals the underlying issue is trust. The King and William don't trust Harry and Meghan with any kind of confidential conversation. Think about that for a moment. His own father and brother won't even speak to him privately anymore. Harry himself admitted in a BBC interview that Charles won't speak to me and that he doesn't know how much longer my father has. But here's where it gets even darker. Thomas Markle Jr., Meghan's own brother, has made shocking allegations about Harry's condition, while unverified reports have circulated about Harry being found unconscious, reports that have been debunked as baseless rumors. The real crisis is actually far more complex and troubling than any single incident could capture. Harry has openly discussed his mental health struggles, with experts claiming he once turned to MI6 therapists for help. Yes, you heard that right, MI6 therapists. According to royal biographer Tina Brown, it was actually his ex-girlfriend Cressida Bonus who first became concerned about his explosive temperament and urged him to seek therapy. This led him to Julia Samuel, a bereavement counselor with connections to the intelligence community who had worked with MI6 staff. The depth of Harry's struggles is staggering. His panic attacks and severe anxiety during his time as a working royal were so intense that he would often be drenched in sweat before leaving the house. Can you imagine living like that? Every single public appearance causing such extreme physical reactions. In his memoir, Harry revealed he struggled with agoraphobia, writing that he was an agoraphobe, which was nearly impossible given my public role. He nearly fainted during speeches that couldn't be avoided or canceled. This is a man who was literally trapped by his own mind while being forced to perform royal duties. And then there's the substance abuse. In his book Spare, Harry admits to using cocaine several times starting at age 17, marijuana, and even psychedelics like ayahuasca and psilocybin. He told Oprah Winfrey he was willing to drink, willing to take drugs, willing to try and do the things that made me feel less like I was feeling. He would consume a week's worth of alcohol in one day, not because he enjoyed it, but because his brain told him he needed it to cope. But here's the part that will really make your jaw drop. In 2002, newspaper reporters approached palace officials claiming to have photographic evidence of Harry doing cocaine. And according to his memoir, Harry brags about lying to the officials and leading the royal family to deny the allegation. The palace covered it up. They've been protecting him for years. Now, fast forward to today. The situation has deteriorated beyond belief. Prince Harry's public criticism of Princess Kate and Prince William in his 2023 autobiography Spare led to the royal couple cutting contact with the Duke of Sussex. He's completely isolated from his family. The princes have not been on speaking terms since the publication of Harry's tell-all memoir in January 2023. But it gets worse. While William remains firmly estranged from Harry and Meghan, some royal observers believe it's King Charles who should take the first step, but inside palace walls, hesitation reigns. Even with Charles battling cancer, there's no reconciliation in sight. According to The Sun's royal correspondent Sarah Hewson, Harry only found out about his father's recent visit to hospital through the media, and he doesn't know what his father's prognosis is. Imagine finding out your father, the king, is in the hospital from the newspaper instead of your family. That's how far this rift has gone. Meanwhile, what's Meghan doing during all of this? She's focused on her business ventures and social media presence. The source says even more so. Because of his military background, he's a lot more paranoid about their security than Meghan. Harry wants her to be able to get on with her work and being a mom without worrying about her safety. But it's a different world now, and it's rumored he's starting to get frustrated with her approach. The contrast is stark. While Harry spirals, Meghan is launching products and building her brand. She's posting dance videos videos from the hospital where their daughter was born, completely tone deaf to Harry's deteriorating mental state. Royal commentator Ingrid Seward called it vulgar, unnecessary, and attention-seeking, pointing out the hypocrisy of demanding privacy while sharing intimate moments online. While baseless rumors have circulated online about Harry being hospitalized for an overdose, rumors that have been thoroughly debunked with no evidence or statements from the royal family or Harry's representatives. The real crisis is his ongoing mental health struggles and complete isolation from his support system. These false rumors originated from unverified YouTube videos and social media posts, but they highlight how vulnerable Harry's position has become. The truth is actually more tragic than any sensationalized headline. Harry has struggled with anxiety since he lost his mother at 12 years old. He's previously recognized that the death of Princess Diana is a wound that festers inside him, and that every camera flash is the worst reminder of her life. In his Apple TV series with Oprah Winfrey, The Me You Can't See, Prince Harry revealed some of his symptoms and triggers. Panic attacks, severe anxiety, and 28 to probably 32 was a nightmare time in my life. US Weekly, typically a pro-Harry publication, can't even spin this positively anymore. They're admitting Harry has regrets, not about leaving the royal family, but about everyone he's lost in the process. They quote royal historian Marlene Koenig saying Harry hasn't been entirely successful, especially in terms of earning money for the family. That burden has fallen on Meghan. Royal biographer Valentine Lowe told people that Harry's BBC interview wasn't meant to be an attack, but it would be seen as one. It makes Charles reaching out even harder. Every time Harry tries to reconcile, he makes things worse. The immigration issues add another layer of stress. The Heritage Foundation argues there is public interest in Harry's treatment by immigration authorities due to his admitted drug use. They're trying to access his visa records to see if he lied on his application. If he did, he could face deportation. If he didn't lie, it raises questions about special treatment. Harry is preparing to invite King Charles and Prince William to attend the 2027 Invictus Games in Birmingham as part of action desired to mend relations with the King and other senior royals. But this feels like too little, too late. The timing has created a significant dilemma for royal planners, as the Games closing ceremony falls on 17th July, Queen Camilla's 80th birthday. Even his attempts at reconciliation create problems. Harry's children are growing up without knowing their cousins, without understanding their heritage. Prince Archie turned 6 recently and Princess Lilibet is 4. These children will never have the childhood memories with their royal cousins that could have bonded them for life. The resentment this will create as they grow older is heartbreaking to consider. The debate over the possible revocation of their noble title has resurfaced after the couple ignored Sussex Day, with former Sussex MP Tim Loughton stating they rarely visited Sussex, even before leaving the United Kingdom. They can't even maintain the basic responsibilities of their titles. What we're witnessing is a man in complete freefall. No family support, increasing paranoia about security, frustration with his wife's priorities, financial pressure, immigration concerns, and unresolved trauma from his mother's death, all compounding into a perfect storm of crisis. During his 20s, Harry frequently relied on drugs and alcohol to numb the pain he was feeling. He would find himself drinking probably a week's worth in one day. While he claims to have addressed these issues through therapy, the isolation and pressure he's under now could easily trigger a relapse. As the docuseries says, you have to say it out loud. By sharing stories of real people and their experiences, Oprah and Harry hope to remove stigma. But what happens when saying it out loud alienates everyone who could help you? The saddest part? Harry helped with the establishment of Peak State, a mental fitness program aimed at providing tools and resources for managing mental health. He knows what he needs to do. He has access to resources, but he's trapped in a toxic situation with no way out. Trevor Engelson, Meghan's ex-husband, rebuilt his life after she destroyed it. He has a new wife, children, and the private life Harry claims to want. But Harry doesn't have Trevor's advantages. He's not in his home country, he doesn't have his support system, and he's dealing with the additional trauma of losing his mother and his royal identity. A mother whose son died from an overdose warned that Harry's comments about using drugs as a way of dealing with past trauma could easily be misconstrued as being true across the board. His public discussions about drug use, while meant to help, may actually be harmful to others struggling with similar issues. As I'm recording this, Harry is reportedly preparing for more public appearances, trying to maintain the facade that everything is fine. But those close to the situation know the truth. This is a man on the edge, abandoned by his family, increasingly at odds with his wife, and struggling with demons that have plagued him since childhood. The palace's silence on Harry's condition speaks volumes. They've washed their hands of him. William won't even acknowledge his brother's existence. Charles is battling his own health issues and has bigger concerns than his wayward son. And Meghan, she's focused on building her empire, using their children as props for social media content while Harry drowns. This isn't just another royal scandal, this is a human tragedy playing out in real time. A man who served his country, who lost his mother in the most public and traumatic way possible, who has struggled with mental health issues his entire adult life, is now completely alone in a foreign country with a wife who seems more interested in fame than his well-being. The question isn't if Harry will reach his breaking point, it's when. And when that happens, everyone who could have helped but chose not to will have to live with the consequences. If you found this video eye-opening, please hit that like button and share it with anyone who needs to know the truth about what's really happening with Prince Harry. Comment below with your thoughts. Do you think there's any hope for reconciliation, or has Harry passed the point of no return? And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I'll be following this story closely and bringing you updates the mainstream media won't touch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.